What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Married at First Sight edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
I am doing much better. I feel much better, although I do feel as if I owe our friends an explanation as to why this podcast has been delayed.
I think you do. Now when you feel better, go for it. Explain yourself, please.
Yeah.
Explain yourself.
You guys ever have food poisoning at 35,000 feet in the air? And I'm not talking about getting food poisoning from an airplane or from the food that they serve on the airplane. I'm talking about literally having it hit you while you're sitting on the plane.
Window seat.
I don't know how detailed we want to get in this story. Guys, if you are eating at this time, maybe skip ahead 2 or 3 minutes. If you have a sensitive stomach, maybe skip ahead 2 or 3 minutes like I did
don't go
yesterday.
too deep on this.
No, let's not go too deep. Long story short, I had a meeting in Atlanta. I woke up feeling fine. I got to the airport. I had myself a little Starbucks, a coffee, an egg sandwich.
Here we go.
I don't know if that's it, but I was feeling fine. About 30 minutes, I'm boarding the flight, and I'm like, my stomach doesn't feel too good right now, but what are you going to do? I got to get to where I got to get on the plane, and the stomach starts grumbling. So much so that I thought I was going to be the guy that stood up as the flight was taxiing to the runway and be like, stop, I need to evacuate or something else. I waited patiently for us to get to about 5,000 feet in the air, beelined it to the bathroom, did what I had to do. But as soon as I did that, then I started getting incredibly nauseous and was nauseous for the entire rest of the day. Somehow I powered through like the champion that I am at the meeting. I don't know, like Michael Jordan with the flu, but got back to the airport. To make matters worse, the flight was delayed. So now I am not feeling well, have to sit there even longer, doing what I have to do to get through it, power through, get home. And like the professional that I am, I say, T, the show must go on. Fire up the microphones. We're going to podcast. And like the loving wife and the caring wife that T is, she said, you must go to bed. Mm-hmm. And so she told me to go to bed.
Horrible. Yeah, you were like green and white, all the colors but the one you should have.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't feel good and you got home late. So basically we would podcast until freaking midnight.
Yes.
Which that wouldn't be ideal. And B, don't you want to do this the right way and have fun and enjoy it instead of you be clenching your cheeks?
Yeah, I clenched my cheeks for about 12 hours that day.
So that's why I did the decision as the social media president that I am.
Yes, you said go to bed, rest up, you'll feel better tomorrow. And
I made the executive decision, and so here we are one day later, but John feels better. We're drinking our beers as we always do, and it's Friday. And guys, also, John made a good point. We don't have any 90-day this weekend because of the Super Bowl.
This is a point I made to you. I didn't make it on the pod.
No, you made it to me that there is going to be nothing coming out on Monday.
Well, if someone's listening to you say this right now, they've already started listening.
Oh, that's fine. You can listen whenever. But I'm saying for some of you who like to listen podcasts during the weekday, you can save it up for Monday. Happy Monday if you're listening on Monday.
Yeah. Press pause if you don't feel like listening to it over the weekend.
Or happy weekend if you're listening over the weekend. Hey.
Happy, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
We're here, speaking of social media and the president that you are, just another reason to follow us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod, because we hit you with the news that we were going to be delayed last night. And
exactly.
We did that on Instagram. And so if you want to make sure you're up to date on all things Married to Reality, follow us on Instagram and you'll be the first to know about any changes in the schedule, which hopefully there aren't any in the foreseeable future.
Exactly, guys.
But that's where we post them. So Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Also make sure you're following the podcast, okay? Wherever you're listening right now, just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as Alyssa's BS.
You think that was hot?
She is full of shit.
I think that was not.
Wow, it was hot for us. Love the drama, don't you?
It was steamy.
Listen, I feel bad for Chris. for sure. But it's good to have one crazy couple, and she's crazy.
Yeah, were there any other couples this week? I only remember Chris and Alyssa.
Like Lindsay. I mean, Lindsay behaved. MTS behaved. I mean, he always behaves.
Yeah.
Elijah won't kind of behaved.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
But yes.
But Alyssa delivered.
Okay. Also, if you're following us on or listening to us on Apple Podcasts, press that plus sign button. Okay. Make sure you're following there. Okay. Lastly, but not leastly, which isn't a word, make sure you leave a review if you haven't. Okay. A lot of you guys are sending them in. We appreciate it. So thank you in advance if you haven't. And if you're gonna, we appreciate that. And thank you if you have.
Yeah, and if you guys want to hear us read your reviews,
Ooh.
you got to listen to the main podcast. That's not coming out until, not this upcoming Monday, until the following Monday. But hey, we'll be back and we'll read your reviews.
The 90-day podcast is delayed because of the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
No!
Yeah.
Classic.
No! God, please, no!
It's okay.
That's exactly how I feel, actually. Because I don't watch football, so I can care less.
We're into it for the commercials and the halftime show.
And the snacks I make.
Oh, we're going to make some nice snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Speaking of...
No!
What do you say we start this episode and start it with our friends Lindsay and Mark the Shark?
Mark the Shark.
Mark the Shark was more like Mark the Minnow because they wake up and they're cuddling. And I'm like, what happened to the fight?
Get out of here.
Right? This guy was being, I don't know, very forgiving.
He sure is. So we saw a throwback to the fight, and they told us that after the cameras left, they talked and they fixed everything. They talked it through.
I'm just reminding people what the fight was about.
Mark the Shark.
That's not audio from me yesterday. That's just reminding people.
I think you shared a little too much with our friends.
All right.
But Mark the Shark powered through this fight like the shark that he is.
Yeah.
He just swam through it.
Yeah. Can I just say, I'm all for being able to move on, and I think you need to be able to move on. But getting over something so quickly, it concerns me.
What are you talking about? Like, you and I, we don't argue, but obviously, as every couple, we've had our moments. Our fights last about 10 minutes.
I know, but they're never this explosive. It was, if you want me to pull back, I'll pull way back. Yada, yada, yada. Basically.
No, we never argued like that.
No,
That's
it's
true.
Little nitpick things of like.
I don't want to flex, but we do have a decent communication, so we can actually talk things through if something bothers one of us, and it never gets ugly because we talk.
Yeah, this was, why did you take me out to a nice dinner? Why would you make this a romantic dinner if you're going to say this kind of shit? And then it was, waking up cuddling. And again, I don't want any fighting to go on, but you need to talk through, or else you're just going to keep it in and it's going to build up inside you until you explode.
But that's exactly what they did. They talk it through. And this whole process is like marriage on speed.
That's true. So
the fact that they actually were able to talk about it, fix things, and move forward, that's actually great.
Yeah. Okay. So going off that marriage on speed thing, they have breakfast, a nice little spread, and Mark's like, we should say a prayer.
I didn't know Mark the Shark was religious.
No. And first of all, I find it kind of interesting that I guess it's day 5 and now Mark's like, I want to say a prayer because maybe things are kind of going down the shitter. And so he's like, we better stop praying for this relationship.
He got to test the waters.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You got it? Like, because he's a shark?
I get the shark puns. Believe me, I'm king of the puns. I get the puns, okay? You're president of social media. I'm king of the puns. So they start the religious talk, and Mark's like, are you religious, Lindsay? Wasn't it her idea to have the halos?
Well, that's
the Beyonce
the Greek
halos?
Orthodox thing. And
right.
I know, actually, fun fact about myself, I know a lot about Greek religion, Greek traditions, because I've lived with a Greek family for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Greek family who did go to church, Greek family who did participate in everything, Greek family who did the full-blown Greek Easter, aka we started celebrating at 1 a.m.
Yikes. And when I was, because you were an au pair for the Greek family, I lived across the street in New York from a Greek church.
We sometimes
and it's like,
we were like looking at them.
It's like, what's going on?
They party. They party hard.
It's 3 a.m. and there's strobe lights coming in my windows. I'm like, what's going on outside?
They party hard. Like I've got drunk in church, in Greek church several times. Because not to go to church and get drunk, but they throw all these parties.
Nobody is surprised that you took church as an opportunity to get wasted.
Well, I don't go to church, but I did go with the family for all these celebrations, right? Well, if they did Easter or whatever, I used to go with them. They were like, hey, Teresa, you're off the clock. The kids are playing. Have a drink with us.
Were you even 21?
Yes. I came to the U.S. when I was 20.
Church, everyone's legal.
Well, I was 20.
What? I don't know. I feel like when you're at church, it's just like, here, have a little Manischewitz.
No, I turned 21 my first au pair year, but even if I didn't, I mean, they're European. 18 and up, Europe.
Yeah, well, you were in New Jersey.
Yes. No, I didn't drink until I turned 21.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, they have this religious talk. Lindsay is religious. I don't know what Mark thought those halos were at the ceremony.
It's a different religion. She's Greek Orthodox, which means she goes to the Greek church.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Mark asked if she was religious. Religion is religion is religion. It doesn't matter what denomination you are. He's like, oh, so are you religious? It was her idea to have the halos.
Well, that could have been a tradition. I don't think you have to be religious to do that.
Okay.
You can just keep the traditions. Like, she is Greek. We didn't know that until the wedding, but she is Greek.
Yeah.
So I almost thought that she's someone who likes the traditions. Like, I love the traditions, but I'm not religious.
And she's like, yeah, I'm religious, but I'm flexible on what denomination. Like, if there's a better tradition, if someone's got better wedding headwear, I'm down. It really doesn't matter. Like, I'm just down for the tradition and the family aspect of it.
Well, yes. And she said, I love the community, and I get it because based on what I know about the Greek church, it's a one big ass community. Like, everyone's hanging out. Yeah. There's also like the Greek school is usually attached to the Greek church in America, and everyone just knows each other. And I understand the sense of community.
Sure.
Again, I don't go to church. I haven't been to any other church.
That's why we have no friends.
That's true.
We don't have any community.
So I don't know how other churches work, if you know everyone there or if it's a different thing. But what I know about the Greeks is that they hang out, they party, they all know each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I get her point of like, I want to be part of a community.
Sure. So then they start talking about kids, and Lindsay says 3 is the magic number.
Wow.
And Mark says, whatever I can afford and whatever God gives me.
Okay. MTS. I mean, how many kids usually sharks have? I feel like they pop a lot of babies.
They have a school. They would have a school, I think. I don't know. Do sharks have schools? Fish have schools?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, shark is a fish.
Yeah, so I guess they have schools. School of sharks. You're schooling me right now in fish. So.
I don't know, guys. We might be wrong, but...
Nah. They make a pact, right? If they have twins, that they're done.
Yeah. That's what I told you.
I think we're going to have twins.
If we ever have twins, we're done.
I think we're going to have twins. So twins run in my family. My sister, shout out to my sister.
Hello, Rachel.
Hello, Rachel, who is with child. She wanted twins and didn't get them. And I don't want twins, so I think I will get them.
I would like to have twins. You know why? Because we're getting older. And when we decide to have kids, if we decide to have kids, you can just do it once and you get 2.
Yeah.
That would be amazing, actually.
What's the twin fraternal? The ones that aren't identical. Fraternal twins where they don't look alike. They could be a boy and a girl. That I'd be okay with.
Yeah. My cousins are twins.
Yeah, I don't want 2 of the same kid.
No, me neither. Like, imagine having Darcy and Stacy.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. No. That's too much.
I don't think I could take it.
You want to spice it up a little bit. You don't want 2 of the same thing. You want a little variation, I think. So if we had, identical twins, I feel like I'd go for one more. If we had fraternal, I think I could be okay with that.
All right.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this.
So then we cut to Lindsay explaining that Mark's landlord, who is like his second mom, will not stop calling him. She apparently calls twice a day at least, all hours of the day. And the reason being, she's trying to change his lease at the moment during the honeymoon.
I don't understand why, but later on they're going to explain is because I guess she realized that they're going to have 5 cats in the apartment.
Yeah, she was at the wedding.
Yeah. She's like, that's my second mom. Your second mom is trying to evict you?
So here's the thing. I don't think she is. I actually think it's the opposite. I think she's trying to lock him down because she was there. She was at the wedding. She knows how the show works probably. She knows they're going to go live somewhere else for 2 months. Are they going to stop paying the rent here while they're gone? Are they going to decide to move into Lindsay's place? She's probably like, Mark's the best tenant I've ever had. I love his cats. His cats are like my cats. We're like one big happy family. And she's probably like, let me lock this guy down for another 12 to 15 months.
Well, that's BS then. Then don't call yourself a second mom. Like a second stepmom.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Moms are shady. And not my mom, but...
No, is my mom shady?
No, but let's talk about...
No, my mom is the best. Shout out to her birthday. That was yesterday.
Happy belated. Let's talk about adults adopting adults because those are some shady moms.
Yes.
Or at least wannabe moms. There's one in particular, and I forget the name, but she's trying to step in and take this girl away from her actual mom.
But her actual mom sucks.
Yeah, it's going to get too complicated if we talk about it. But I'm just saying some pretend parents, some secondary moms can be shady.
Yeah. I mean, they just want to have a family. I get it.
Are we talking adults adopting adults?
Yeah.
Let's talk married at first sight.
Guys, real quick. If you have nothing to watch adults adopting adults.
Even if you have something to watch, just wait to watch whatever you were going to watch and watch adults adopting adults. And I'm going to correct myself. It's on A&E. I don't know why they showed it on Lifetime that first.
Maybe Lifetime owns A&E or the other way around.
I think they're sister companies. And they're like, well, we're going to get some eyes on it.
Yeah. Because adults adopting adults is on after maths on Wednesdays.
Just that one time, I think. No,
it was on.
Again?
Yeah.
I think there's a new show.
Really?
Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about, guys. Let's get back to what we know.
Okay.
Mark and Lindsay, they go to the spa. They're trying to relax, trying to have all the stress of Mark's second mom massaged out of him. And they sit and they have some champagne, and they're talking about this whole situation. And this is where I turn. This is where I start to like Lindsay a little bit more.
I started liking her this episode because she calmed down. And she was just there for Mark, and she was chilled.
Yeah, she was scheming for Mark. She's like, we'll go to the apartment. We'll grab anything you love, throw it at my place. We'll move into the Maff's apartment. And she's all in on Mark and trying to help him out of this bad situation.
Also, MTS has bed bugs.
I know. And let's address that for a second. Why would you want to re-up on your lease if you have bed bugs?
Yeah, I don't know. How do you even get bed bugs?
Well, there's probably a whole host of ways you can get bed bugs.
I always check hotel beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they'll out of sight, out of mind.
No, you have to check the corners. You don't do that? No. A friend of mine told me once, we went on a business trip and we stayed at this hotel and she's like, check the corners. And I'm like, really? She's like, dude, that's how you see if they have bed bugs. And I always check the corners.
The corners of what?
Of the bed.
Oh.
You like stripe it. You just look at the mattress, look at the corners. Apparently that's where they gather.
I'm thinking about the Office episode where it's Michael's having the hotel party. Don't they turn the black light on?
Huh?
Or Dwight turns a black light on?
What's the black light?
The purple light that illuminates everything?
Oh, yeah. And everything lights up.
Oh, because the bed's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I'm saying. The less you know, the more.
True.
It's the opposite of that NBC, the more you know. It's like the less you know, the better. Okay. Should we move on to Katina and Elijah?
Let's do it.
Okay, they're doing one of our new favorite activities. They're horseback riding.
We've done it once.
And we loved it.
We loved it. It was great. And I feel Katina because I do have a fear of horses.
You were terrified.
But I got over it.
No, you got a mule.
But my mule was great. My mule was the leader.
I know, but you're like, I got over my fear of horses. I got a mule.
Yeah, but well, I think they just thought our personalities matched a little more.
Yeah.
I almost got a horse, but they changed their mind.
Yeah, they almost gave you beautiful.
Beauty.
They're like, and you'll get beauty. Yeah. Nah, you'll get Vegas.
Vegas the mule.
Yeah. Shout out to
But
Tommy.
Vegas the mule was a natural leader.
Yeah.
He literally, as we were about to take off with the group, Vegas just like went off. And I was the first one in the group because
Also,
Vegas was the leader.
A natural snacker.
He kept snacking.
Could not
a
stop
lot.
snacking.
Could not stop snacking.
So they get their horses, two beautiful horses. Mm-hmm. Champagne and I forget the other horse's name.
Who cares?
Beautiful. Who cares? All eyes on Champagne. And it's funny. Everyone's getting champagne in this episode.
That's
Horses,
a good point.
the drink. Yeah.
That's a good point.
So Katina, super anxious, as we said. She comes out. She's like, I am not an animal person. Sorry, PETA.
Who does not like animals? Like,
Well,
it's one thing to say, oh, I don't like cats or oh, I don't like horses. It's a whole different thing when you say, I don't like animals.
the whole category.
Like, you just don't like any animals. You don't like puppies? Who doesn't like
Nah.
puppies?
Well, here's the thing. Alyssa loves animals. And we see what kind of person she is.
Yeah, the
So
worst.
I'll take Katina not liking animals
Sure.
over Alyssa liking animals. Speaking of, these horses are moving slower than Chris and Alyssa's relationship. And Katina's like, whoa, now, slow down. The horse was barely
Well, you
walking.
don't want the horse to take off.
But it was barely trot. It wasn't even trotting.
No, you want to be careful.
She was
Like
being
you
very
went on
careful.
Tommy the horse, and now you
Yeah.
think you know everything about horses.
I'm just saying, I saw how fast that horse was going. I thought she was being a little too freaked out.
No,
about
I
the
get it. Like
situation.
I was a little freaked out on my mule when the mule started going a little faster. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel her pain.
Well, she's frustrated because Elijah Wan is not understanding her fears, right? And he's almost upset with her because she's taking a little positive energy out of the experience. I don't want to miss out on this experience because my wife isn't comfortable.
Well, his whole idea of like, I'm going to keep pushing her is getting on my nerves. Stop freaking pushing her. Like, I understand when you might want to push her to do certain things when, I don't know, I cannot think of an example, but I get it a little bit. But don't test her all the time. Don't push her to do things she doesn't want to do. Like, let her do her. She's
Right.
on the horse. She's taking it easy. Let her take it easy.
Right. Why are you making her do bicep curls on the horse?
Yeah.
You're just testing her? I just want to see if she says no.
Like this whole thing of him pushing her buttons and trying to see how much she can do, that's annoying. And it's going to backfire.
I think so.
It's going to backfire because she's going to get to the point and be like, I can't deal with this anymore. Like, stop pushing me. I would not like it.
There's a way to do it if you want to have her get out of her comfort zone and try new things, but laughing at her because
Yeah.
she's freaking out isn't the way to do it.
And then he freaks out. He's like, oh, this is not what I signed up for. Just because I have a wife, I'm not going to stop having fun. It's like, you are having fun with your wife. You just have to compromise. And if she doesn't feel like riding the horse like a crazy person, maybe don't ride the horse like a crazy person.
Right.
Or do it on your own and let her just walk with the horse.
Yeah. I love how Elijah thinks he's the horse whisperer all of a sudden. He thinks he's like a professional jockey because the guy's ridden one horse.
Yeah, I don't like it. I do not like this.
They're probably, I was going to say they're probably the second worst relationship, but maybe they're tied with Michael and Jasmina.
I think they're better than Michael and Jasmina.
Just because Katina's hanging in there. I think Jasmina is letting Michael's ways bother her more
True.
and wearing on her more. I think Katina's just like staying tough.
Yeah, I
for right
think
now.
she's going to be good until she loses her nerves with this whole, I'm going to push my wife.
Yeah. Well, let's say she might push him off like a building or something. Let's talk about Noy and Steve. They're doing well.
Yes.
They're hiking in the rainforest. They find a spring to go swimming.
And I like this relationship because this is definitely out of Noy's comfort zone. She's doing it, but Steve isn't pushing her. Steve isn't like, get in the water, get in the water.
No,
you have to get in the water. Like,
he's legit.
She's getting in the water on her own, and he's just there for her.
He's doing the opposite of pushing. He is supporting her figuratively and literally. I think I was right. I don't think she knows how to swim because he's showing her how to float, and it's what he did in the pool the previous episode, which I don't know why he didn't teach her how to swim and float in a pool as opposed to a rocky waterfall where fish are biting them, but he's still there to help her.
Or maybe she's scared. Maybe she knows how to swim, but she's afraid.
Of a pool?
I don't know.
He was literally holding her the entire time they were in the pool.
I mean, you don't know. Maybe a trauma happened and...
I think they would talk about it.
I guess. Like, I hate crowded pools because once a person jumped on me and I started drowning. Yeah. And it was so crowded and I don't go to public.
You started drowning because someone jumped on you?
Yeah, they jumped on me and there was like a bunch of kids around and people started like holding me under the water and I started drowning.
That's terrible. No, you didn't start drowning. Someone was drowning you.
Yeah.
Why?
Because kids were having fun around me and someone jumped.
But you had a tough childhood.
And I literally had trauma for a while.
Yeah.
That's why I do not go to public pools.
Understood. That's terrible.
I do. Let's say like our apartment complex is a public pool. I am not going to drown because it's not that deep. And also it's not that busy.
3 inches of water.
Yeah, but it's not that busy. No one's jumping there.
Right.
But I do not like it. And I actually never told my parents because they would not let me go to the pool again.
Who were these kids that were trying to drown you?
Kids from school.
Kids would steal your shells.
They did.
Kids would take your money. They would drown you. What was going on?
Kids didn't take my money.
I thought some kids took your money, your lunch money or something.
No.
Your Pokemon cards?
Pokemon cards, yeah.
Those are valuable.
Not my lunch money.
Hey, you got to catch them all, right? Can't really blame
lunch?
them.
Why would they take my lunch money?
Wait, what, you don't know about lunch money?
No.
In America, you take money to school and you buy your lunch.
Oh, no. In Czech Republic, parents prepay for the year.
Well, look at you.
And then you just have to select what you want to eat.
It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Did you have Lucky Tray Day?
What's that?
Oh, my gosh, see?
You pick what you want to eat. You go to this like chip machine and you select, you want a chicken, you want a beef, you want
out of
risotto.
A machine?
Yeah, and then you select. No. You select it for a week. And then when you go and you do the chip, the lunch lady sees if you have A, B, or C, and they give you the food you selected.
Hey, we have to talk about this. You go to a machine. Mm-hmm. What is this? There's no food in the machine.
No. It just tells you Monday, you can have A, risotto, B, chicken, C,
you're
beef.
A little posh. Okay, why is it a machine? You make a computer?
Yeah, like a little computer, a little machine.
And what do you do? Is it a menu or you're actually making a selection?
No, the menu's on the paper on the wall.
So what are you doing with the machine?
You just select like ABC for Monday through Friday. You have to do it once a week.
Off?
No, it's on your chip. You get a chip. You chip, you put your pin in, and then it asks you what do you want for Monday. You say A. What do you want for Tuesday? You want B. What do you want for Friday? Oh, you have to go to the doctor. You're going to skip. Cool. And so then on the actual day, you go, and before the lunch lady is going to give you the food, you put the chip to the chip machine, and it tells her if you have A, B, or C.
Why can't you just tell her?
Because that's how they make a certain amount of food for each kid.
I mean, I guess that's pretty efficient.
Yeah. And then parents...
Interesting.
I don't think they prepaid for a year. That's a lie. I think they prepaid for a month, or they get the bill monthly.
In America, at least where I went to school, maybe they had the menu for the week so you knew it was coming, but you'd show up, you'd stand in line, you'd take a tray, and you'd walk down almost buffet style, and they would give you the food. And then on Lucky Tray Day, they would give you a tray, and some lucky kids would look under the tray, and there'd be a sticker, and you'd win something.
only in America.
Yeah.
In Czech,
Sounds
you
awesome.
stand in the line, you get a tray, you use the chip machine
Yeah, no, we heard
once
about
you
the
get
chip.
there.
We heard about the chip machine.
and you
enough.
get your food that you selected.
Yeah, we have a chip machine in America too. It's called a vending machine. They have Doritos. Come on. Okay, enough about Czech chip machines. That's Stephen Noy in a nutshell. They're good. They legit look like a couple to me. They look like they've been dating for a while. They feel comfortable with each other. They look solid. One of the more solid couples.
For sure.
Okay, let's talk about the least solid couple. Melissa and Chris, if you guys had any
we
questions.
finally get a little piece of PC.
Pastor Cal.
Not Pastor Cal. Yeah, Pastor Cal.
Who do you think PC is?
Pastor Calvin.
What do you think Cal is short for?
Do they call him Pastor Cal?
Yeah. What show are you watching?
I just keep calling him PC. I've been calling him PC for so long that I don't even know his name.
Yeah, Pastor Cal.
Oh, okay. Pastor Cal has been monitoring the situation.
Yeah, like he's got some like bomb shelter in his home where he's got screens, right?
Don't you feel like these experts used to be way more involved than they are now? They've been calling them on the honeymoon. So
That's
they've
true.
been doing like these
Skype-ins
FaceTime,
and-
Skypes, like, how's it going, guys? Now they're just like,
We're
you
staying
guys
out of this.
just go in the wilderness and you do you.
If you matched Chris and Alyssa, would you want anything to do with that? I would distance myself as much as I could. I'd be like, I had enough. I said no.
I would never.
Dr. Pepper threatened me. She said, if you do not approve this couple, you're off the show. So I went with it, but this was not my idea.
After watching Alyssa for about 2 minutes, I knew that she's the worst. I literally knew it. And I told you and I called it early on that she's going to be the worst. She's going to be pain in the ass, that she's one of the people with this weird personality that I just cannot stand. And I called it. So I would never take this person and match her with anyone.
Yeah.
Like literally, because I don't think she would be happy with anyone.
No, it's a fair point.
I think if they gave her someone with the perfect teeth and the perfect job and I don't know what else she wants from a guy, like a perfect smile and smelling good, I don't know, one of her superficial requests, right? I'm sure she would find an issue with this person.
No, I don't know.
There would be something with his personality, or maybe he wouldn't like horses. Like, I'm telling you, she would find an issue.
Yeah, you make a good point because we'll talk about it later. But when she comes up with her apartment living situation, I'm like, this is sounding premeditated. Like, you didn't just come off the cuff with, maybe we'll split the apartment. We'll go halves on the apartment. That's an idea I feel like you had going into this where, yeah, maybe we'll just go half and half if this doesn't work out.
No, she's the worst. Let's talk about it because,
Well, they got the worst couples activity. Let's just say that. And I love tennis. I played tennis all through high school. I almost went to college for tennis. I love tennis. Compared to horseback riding, compared to a beautiful couples massage, tennis at the high school courts, wherever they were playing, this is not your honeymoon activity.
well, I think they were trying to find an activity for them that
Low investment. We can't lose any money if she doesn't show up.
maybe something a little more like moving and fun and competitive.
There's a net between them.
Yes. I feel like horseback riding is romantic. Like Alyssa would probably, plus she loves horses, so I almost feel like she would just enjoy the horse. She wouldn't really care for Chris.
That's true. She loves horses. She's a horse girl, yeah.
And they did try paddleboarding, which Chris had so much fun, and Alyssa was just like, Then Chris did the snorkeling, which Alyssa didn't want to do.
They should have done, and I'm not saying this facetiously, I'm not saying this jokingly. They should have done like boxing or kickboxing, something where like let out some aggression, get physical, maybe spar with each other a little bit and see what it feels like to make contact with the other person. But
I feel like they would start hitting each other.
I know, but maybe that's good in a weird way.
I think they should have done what MTS and Lindsay did, the cocktail class.
Oh,
Just let it loose a
Get
little bit. Like
cocktail.
make some pina coladas. Like, it's fun, it's delicious. You can talk while doing that. But I'm sure that would be an issue for Alyssa.
Alyssa needs to pina cool out a little bit.
She is the worst. So they're playing tennis. She's doesn't have shoes on because she was wearing flip-flops.
Her footwear says it all. That shows her level of commitment to this entire process, which is, okay, we're going to play tennis. I'll show up in flip-flops.
And then she talks to the producer. She's like, I'm putting so much hard work into this. Like, I'm doing my very best.
Hold on. Before all that, Chris says something that almost makes me lose. Well, it definitely makes me lose respect for him. It almost makes me not team Chris anymore.
What?
When he's like, on paper, I think she's a great fit. We enjoy the same activities. She's a fun person. I'm like, what? Man, stop. Like, you're being so naive. I almost can't even be on your side anymore.
I don't think he's naive. I think he literally knows what's going on. But I think he's being hopeful. Like, as I always say, Doug and what's her face?
Jamie.
Yeah, Doug and Jamie. They're the most famous couple, right?
Yeah.
She was crying at the wedding. She did not want to do it. And she turned it around. And now they're very happy. And I think a lot of people who match with someone and it's not going the right way think back at them. And I almost feel like Chris thinks, all right, I'm still in the game. I can see some of her qualities. Maybe that's why we're matched. She, her mom said, yes, you are the person she needs. Her friend said it. So I think like he's hanging on to these little things.
Don't be like, oh, we're a great fit. She's a fun person. She's shown you none of that.
Well, yeah, I think he's like lying to himself a little bit.
He is lying to himself, and he's being superficial. If we want to call her superficial, he's being superficial too, because the only thing I can see that's redeeming in his eyes are her looks, because she's shown nothing else that's a redeeming quality.
Once again, she's literally the worst looking person on this whole season.
No, I agree with that.
So I don't think it's the looks.
Well, I still think she's good looking. And in his eyes, she could be great looking. That's the only thing that could possibly be a positive. Everything else she's done has been atrocious.
No, but I think maybe he's hanging on to these little things. Like, let's say they did the paddleboarding and she laughed. Like, she had some sort of fun, right?
Oh, my gosh. She smiled. So.
Well, yeah, but I think there are these like little moments that he maybe thinks, all right, like here it is. Here is why we were matched. And I feel bad for him because I literally think that he knows of the situation. He's 100% aware of what's going on. But there were maybe 3 or 4 moments when he thought, all right, this is why we were matched. Great. Maybe she'll change her mind.
Yeah, I want to shake him and wake him up. And
I want to punch him to wake him up.
It was Elijah one, I think, who said later in the episode, oh, he's embarrassing himself on TV. And and that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm kind of like, I don't know, Chris, you're kind of embarrassing yourself.
Well, I just feel bad for him because I think he is in it for real. And he would have taken anyone, even let's say, if it's someone he's not attracted to or anything, I'm pretty sure he's the type of person who would give the other person a chance.
Yeah, he would give the 2 months.
Yeah, give it a chance. Act like you're married. Get to know, if nothing, get to know the person.
100%. Well, let's talk about when they start discussing the plans of moving in together.
Ooh.
Because this is where things just take a hard left. Like, if you thought things weren't going well before, things just take a hard left.
And like literally, this is a normal conversation because they know it's coming.
This is the show.
So the fact that Chris wants to talk about it, it's normal.
And it's not even, it's normal, it's the show. Alyssa's like main thing is that she wants to live in the apartment. So you should have talked about this from day one. Like, this is all she looked forward to, is living in the apartment.
She's like, I don't feel comfortable moving into the apartment with you, Chris. And she's like, I feel wrapped of this experience they were supposed to have. Are you fucking kidding me? You feel wrapped of the experience that you are not doing?
Well,
you literally didn't even give him one chance.
But her experience is not a marriage experience. She goes, the other couples will be hanging out together, having fun, and I want to be able to live there and be a part of that. In her mind, that's the experience, is 5 couples hanging out.
I also think the other couples don't like her. Maybe just Mina and Katina a little bit, but they still said that they weren't very
No,
team
they know
Alyssa.
she's crazy.
Yeah.
This isn't the real world. This isn't 10 strangers picked to live in an apartment and let's see what happens. This is 5 couples matched to be married. Let's see what happens. And she doesn't want to do that part. She wants to do the live in the apartment part. That's not the show. So for her to be like, I'm robbed of this experience. No, you're robbing Chris of the experience.
Yes. She's like, and Chris said, I'm going to move into the apartment. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we signed up for. And Alyssa like, I don't want to talk about it. And she's like, I see where this whole thing is going. And she walks away to the side of the tennis court to talk shit about Chris to the producers. And what she's telling them, I would literally slap her if I could.
I couldn't believe the producers were being so accommodating with her.
Well, they have to.
I know they have to. But I would just be like, what are you taught, lady? You're crazy.
Well, you cannot do that because you are a neutral person. You're like the Switzerland there.
No, that's why I couldn't do it. I mean, the producers go after her. She's like, I want the apartment. I love the other girls. And if they're like hanging out and I don't live there, I can't. I'm not going to pay for an Uber every time I want to go hang out with them.
And she's like crying. And Chris is standing on a tennis court talking to the other producers.
Oh, this is so good.
And like showing something that's going
like
on.
Pointing at a local bird.
Like literally like nothing crazy. Just pointing, and she goes like, "Look at his hand gestures. He's just pointing. What the actual fuck?"
The producer goes, "He's just moving his hands. He's not picking his nose.
No,
he's not doing like the jerk off gesture." And Alyssa's just like, "Oh, he's like pointing at stuff."
She's like disgusting. He's just pointing.
Oh, like he's giving her the middle finger or something.
Who is she?
Oh my god!
Like I think everyone hates her. Everyone, like the lady who hosts the 11 p.m. show.
Yes,
she hates her.
Oh really?
Yeah, like Alyssa stormed off that interview she had last week.
Right.
Like
I wish it was earlier.
Yeah, I
can't
feel like
watch
it should follow the show, but everyone dislikes her, and her thing is like, oh my gosh, like this is how I'm gonna be portrayed on TV. But that's how you're acting.
Right.
You're going to be portrayed the way you're acting. It's not bad editing when you're talking about, look at his hands gestures.
Right.
He's just pointing. That's a one solid shot that you did. It's not like they puzzled it from different shots.
Yeah.
Like you make yourself look like a total idiot, like total asshole.
Okay, so Chris goes back to solitary confinement. And he FaceTimes his sister, and he's filling her in on the situation with Alyssa. Meanwhile, Alyssa's still outside blabbering to the producers about how she's being portrayed in a poor light. And she goes, I almost can't even say what she says because I am speechless. She's sick of being the good person and taking the high road.
And she has said it several times throughout the episode that I'm the good person. I'll tell you what, good people don't call themselves good people. Good people are good people and they just act. I don't think I've ever said about myself, I'm a good person.
Well, that would be a lie.
Please.
Show don't tell.
Yeah. I like to think that I'm a good person. Yes. Did I do crazy shit? Probably when I was younger, for sure. Did I act like an asshole at some point in my life? 100%. I think we all have. But I think I'm a solid person. Do I walk around and tell people I'm a good person? I've never said it out loud until now.
Telling people you're a good person, it's literally the emptiest thing you can say. Not the MTS thing you can say. Not the shock thing you could say. No,
I was literally going to ask you, like, what do you mean?
It's the emptiest thing you can say because it doesn't mean anything. You have to show it. Just saying it literally means nothing. I'm a good person. Okay. Well, then act like it.
Yeah. It's the same thing with like, yes, I do tell you I love you because I love you very much. But I also show you every single day. So me saying it's great. But I think me showing it, that's the important part. It's not like I say I love you and then we fight 24/7.
Right. Saying it is a part of showing it in a way, but there's so much more you can show and do and express than just the words.
Totally. And her keeps saying that she's a good person while being the absolute asshole. It's just hilarious.
So the producer's like, all right, well, do you want to talk to him? Like, talking to us isn't going to do anything. Why don't you talk to him? And Alyssa goes, no, I hate him. He's an asshole and he's doing me dirty, and it's disgusting a man is treating a woman like this. What?
Oh my God.
What?
Like,
she's the worst person in Married at First Sight history, full stop.
100%. Like,
She makes Chris look like a queen. There's so many queens.
Chris from Atlanta is a total queen.
White queens,
compared
black
to her.
queens. Chris is a queen compared
At least
to
Chris
Alyssa.
banged his queen a few times.
Yeah, I think like 3 times the first
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. No, he sucked, but compared to Alyssa, he was a queen.
Alyssa's not done yet because she goes, he comes off as this good guy, but guess what? He's a shitty car salesman who sells houses. Why does he get to move into the apartment? Why can't I move in and hang with my girls? Why? Because that's not the show.
And the producers, they were like, this is Married at First Sight, not Single at First Sight. Boom!
Yeah, or as I said, which I think is more appropriate, and as I posted on Instagram, it's not Friends at First Sight. You're not coming to make friends.
They are not even friends.
But she wants to hang. What if my girls are hanging out? I can't hang with the girls. It's not Friends at First Sight.
I'll tell you what, Alyssa, your girls don't like you.
No.
Your girls hang out with you because of the cameras.
Right.
But your
'cause-
girls don't like you. Your girls do think you're full of shit. Because when Elijah One was talking about you literally being a shitty person, Katina laughed.
Yeah.
She didn't take your back because she knew that you're full of shit, Alyssa.
New name for Alyssa. Ass Lyssa.
Ass Lyssa, I
Ass
like it.
Lyssa. She's a total ass.
She sucks.
I'm not being portrayed in a good light, and my mom is going to be very upset.
Because her mom is mad at her that she's being mean to Chris. So you actually said that you're not being nice to Chris. That's why your mom is mad at you. But meanwhile, you are this good person just being portrayed poorly because you want to live in the apartment to hang out with your girls who don't even like you.
Ass Lyssa.
Ass Lyssa.
Okay, let's calm down a second. Let's talk about Jasmine and Michael because they're a sweet couple in comparison. They have a little couples adventure, but before they do, they meet up with Katina and Elijah One.
Double date.
A little double date action, a little double D's.
Yeah, they're talking about the relationship, how it's going. And then Elijah One, being Elijah One, literally takes over this whole thing and he cannot stop talking.
Well, Katina first asks why, if they can see why they were matched. And Jasmine is like, yeah, we have a lot in common. I think that's why we were matched. We share some similarities. And Elijah Wan's like, yeah, such a sexy couple. You guys are so sexy. Because that's what matters to Elijah Wan. It's all about the sex. It's all about the looks. It's all
and
about
it's about the cooking.
Well, he doesn't bring that up, does he?
Not yet.
So
Not
to him,
yet.
it's all superficial. It's like, yeah, you guys are so sexy. It doesn't matter if they have any common interests or similarities. It's all about you guys look good together.
Yeah. And if you don't have same interest, Michael, you just gotta push her. You just gotta push her hard.
Right.
Just push her. Like I push Katina all the time. Just push her.
How have you tested your woman, Michael? You got any good tests? Yeah. So Jasmine's like, well, I can see why the experts matched us. It's not even some things in common. It's like all things in common. And Michael says one thing the entire time. He's like, we're both opinionated and speak with conviction. So, we're the same like that.
Well, at least something in common.
Yeah. So
Well, yeah.
that's it, really.
That's it, yeah.
Elijah Wan starts talking about he makes every conversation about him.
Yeah, classic.
O-Town. It's Elijah Wan. It's O-City. So, okay. We do get a little couples time with Jasmine and Michael. They're in the rainforest like Steve and Noe were.
I think, is it a thing for these couples that the women don't like the water?
Nah, for this group.
Because Jasmina isn't thrilled and she doesn't want to go into the water, like which she later on will.
Yeah, she's a little sour. You can tell her mood's off, but at least she's trying.
Yes.
Okay, unlike Alyssa. I mean, nobody's like Alyssa.
No.
At least she's trying to make the most of it. And they go in the water a little bit, but then they sit and they talk. And Michael, very similar to my wife, Teresa, has a story about how he was beat up in elementary school.
No one ever beat me up.
I mean, they tried to drown you. It's pretty close.
That was an accident. They jumped at me, and then kids were like, oh, Teresa's underwater, and they were like holding my head.
Yeah, that's trying to drown you. I know your therapist told you they weren't trying to kill you.
I never told anyone.
It was
all a joke.
I mean, they weren't really trying to drown you, but they were
They thought it
trying.
was funny.
They were trying to.
Yeah.
But Michael brings up this story about elementary school, and I'm like, shit, dude, like you really can't let go of the past.
No.
That's his whole issue, and that's what Jasmine is scared of is, he can't let things go. This guy's still holding on to being beat up in 3rd grade on the bus.
I mean, I always tell you about the time when this mean girl stole all my shells. And then I got grounded for it because those were my mom's shells that she picked up in Croatia, and they were on display in her apartment.
What the shell?
And I had to be bringing these shells to school for this mean girl. And my parents found out because she was like, oh, you went to Croatia. Do you have any shells? And I'm like, yeah.
Why did you say yeah?
Because I don't lie. You know that.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I kept bringing all these shells. And then my mom was like, what are all these shells?
She said, what the shell? She said, where's the shells?
So I kind of told my mom. My mom got pissed, called the school, the other girl's mom. That was the whole thing. But yeah, I was a little pussy.
Jeez.
I have to say, I don't have any better word for it than I was a little idiot.
Did you bring him in for show and shell?
What's that? Oh, show and tell?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of other shell puns.
Well, I wasn't.
You weren't being shellfish. You know,
I was not being shellfish. And I actually went from being a little idiot to being a businessman. And I started selling snails.
Oh, a shell company.
Story. Yeah.
I can go for days with these puns.
That's a different story. I was also called to school because of that, because I was taking money from my classmates selling water snails.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm out. I think I'm out of shell puns. Yeah.
I'll tell you guys one day. Maybe I already did. It's possible.
Okay. Anyway, speaking of 3rd grade, they were like, let's carve our initials into this rock. Cute, I guess, but ineffective.
It wasn't the rock. It was what's the name of the green thing?
Moss.
Moss.
Thank
you.
It was moss on the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cute. A for effort. So that's it, right?
That's it.
They're doing it. They're having fun. They're making an effort. It's all about effort. Right, Ask Lissa?
It sure is. Ask Lissa does not know the meaning of the word effort.
She sure does not. Okay.
However, she's very good at the word complain.
Okay. I keep trying to take us into break, but...
Okay. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. All right, so let's talk about some group hangs.
MTS, Lindsay, and Chris, and then the fake friends, Katina, Jasmina, and Alyssa.
Ooh.
Fake friends meaning that I don't believe that Katina and Jasmina like Alyssa.
Yeah, nobody likes Alyssa.
Because if they do, I literally don't see it. I do not see it. And I do like Katina and I do like Jasmina, just to make it clear.
Yeah. Okay. So first up, Mark, Lindsay, and Chris, they're checking in. Mark and Lindsay are checking in on Chris. Lindsay asks, what's going on? What happened? How did we get here?
And so Chris is telling them what happened, and he says, the wedding was great, which is true. All we saw was them having fun. Alyssa was fine at the wedding. She was showing off her shoes. But I think the whole thing happened when Chris's friend said, he loves teaching people.
That's an excuse, I think. I think she saw him.
It is.
And that was the first thing she could glom onto and go, yeah, that's why I don't like him. It's not his teeth. That's why I don't like him. And she spun that into this entire...
Even his teeth? She doesn't like his teeth?
Well, at least due to the editing, she was like, he better have good teeth.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to call a dentist. And then they cut to Chris's smile. So it was like, yep, I think she's going to have a problem with that. She doesn't want to come out and say it's his looks. So she's coming out and saying, well, his friend said some things that concern me.
Well, speaking of that, Katina actually called her on that, saying, I literally don't think you're attracted to him and you should tell him the truth.
Right. Right.
That's That's it.
Right. Chris is like, well, she never said anything about my looks. And Lindsay's like, yeah, you're a good-looking guy.
Which I think he's a normal-looking dude.
He's an average-looking guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there is nothing wrong with him. He has a decent job. He seems to be a hard worker. He has a good relationship with his mom, like family-oriented, whatever. Like, he seems to be really into this. Like, I don't see anything wrong with Chris.
No, she's definitely not out of his league. They're in the same league. And Lindsay goes, it's a shame because you're probably exactly what she needs. And in 10 years, she'll look back and say, fuck me. I threw him away before I gave him a chance.
I think so too. And a lot of people think that. Like her mom, her friends. Like forget the mom. Like moms can be sometimes like, oh, this guy is so nice. You should marry him, right? But friends know you. Like friends know you at your worst and at your best. If your friends say, I think this guy is perfect for you, I think there is something to it.
Sure. So let's talk about Alyssa, Katina, and Jasmina. Okay. They're checking in on Alyssa.
Well, Alyssa is just complaining to them. She's like, I'm not blaming him, but it feels like he's blaming me for all this. Does it, Alyssa?
First of all, I don't know that he is, but he should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if anyone is being robbed of this experience, it's freaking Chris. Because it's one thing, all right, I'm not attracted to this guy. I don't know if this is going to work. That's one thing. But the other thing is not even trying.
Right.
Not even, like, let's say maybe you're not meant to be. Maybe you can be friends. She didn't even cross that line.
She wants friends, clearly.
Well.
The craziest thing is there is an expiration date to these relationships if you're not happy. It's not like a real marriage, I'll say. I know these are real marriages, but it's not like your normal marriage where till death do us part. It's like till 2 months do us part.
Yeah.
Alyssa, can you just hold on? Can you pretend for 8 weeks? And then when decision day comes, you can lay this all on the table? She can't even do that.
If I was Chris, I would literally want an annulment because he didn't get anything even close to a wedding, close to a marriage.
I was reading on the social medias because we don't watch After Party. We should, but we need our beauty sleep. Apparently, Alyssa called her attorney or something after the wedding when they were heading to Puerto Rico to be like, can I get this annulled? I don't want this marriage.
Yeah, I didn't get the whole story, but I saw a snippet.
Yeah, we got to watch. It's crazy. Okay, so Katina asks the tough questions. She's like, so you've tried everything to make it work? And Alyssa goes, well, I totally came here for a husband. But on the wedding night, his friends and family were saying things that didn't sit well with me.
Well, so the fact that he's a nice dude, but he plays disc golf and likes to teach people when they don't know something. Oh my gosh, how dare he?
I mean, I will say disc golf, that's 2 strikes. But he's still got 1 strike until he's out.
If he wants to play disc golf, that's fine. Like, do whatever you want to do.
I know, but don't be that passionate about it. Don't be like, oh, I'm the president of the Massachusetts Disc Golf Association. Don't be that
passionate. If you're 35 and still single, I understand that you have a passionate hobby.
I know.
Because what else are you going to do?
I'm joking a little bit.
I know you
but
are.
That would, and I'm still kind of joking, but if he was that fired up about disc golf and I'm Alyssa, I might be like, bro, like let's tone it down a little bit.
Let's not shit on it. He's proud of it. I do ceramics.
Okay, you took 1 class.
I started.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll become the ceramics president one day.
I'm trying to think of another hobby like disc golf that if you were like this invested and every weekend you were doing it, I would be like, come on, maybe we should focus on us.
But it's the thing. Maybe he's been doing it because he's been single.
True. And maybe he's single because he's been doing it though.
He's not saying, oh, Alyssa, by the way, once we like this marriage keeps going, like forget about hanging out on the weekends. I'm going to be playing disc golf. He never said it. I'm pretty sure he's the type of a person who would be like, yeah, I can play whenever I can, but I'll spend time with you. I don't think that he would be like, yeah, I cannot hang out. We cannot do a date now because I have to do this.
I don't know. He's the president of his association
I think he wants to be married more. Than
that's what I'm saying. If it was getting in the way of the relationship and he was putting his disc first, that I would have an issue with because it's not a career. You're not going to make make money off of it, right? So like that I would have an issue with. But sure, if he's just passionate about playing once in a while, that's fine.
And I think the family was through her was that family said, Chris is such a hard worker. He works all the time. He works on the weekends. He works all the time. And basically, Alyssa got from this conversation about Chris working hard, Alyssa understood, all right, so I'm going to be second to his job.
Right.
Like he works hard and he works on the weekends because he has nothing else to do.
Well, not that. Realtors do work all the time, but it's not in a way that is going to take away necessarily from your time with him. He'll work on weekends. Sure, he'll have open houses on Sundays, on the weekends. That's a big time. Maybe after hours sometimes, but not all the time is it going to get in the way. He might, sure, get an email in the morning. Oh, I got a person interested in seeing a house, but you can still have time off. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's good. It's better than the opposite of he never works.
Yeah.
So don't get upset that he's a hard worker.
No, I think she's just trying to find things. Like, if someone tells you that this person works hard, I would be like, wow, like, good for him. He's really doing his job. Alyssa taking it as, okay, so I would be second to his job. I'm not down for this.
Right.
WTF. Because she's a social media coordinator. Her work is on her phone.
It's a real
like,
job.
I know it's a real job.
And when she's not working on her social media, I'm sure she's working on her social media.
Yeah. So she should just appreciate it.
Also, have some faith in the experts.
Yes.
Don't hear, oh, he works all the time and go, he'll never have time for me. Have some faith in the experts that the experts asked him about his job and his hours, and they still thought, oh, he'll be a good husband.
Yeah. Before I met you, even like when we started dating, I was working 3 jobs. I had my main job, I was going to college, and at the same time, I picked up some night babysitting, and I was a hostess at the restaurant because I needed money to pay for living in New York City, to pay for college. Like, yeah, and I still found time for you.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the truth with all of us. If something is important to you, you'll find time for it.
100%.
And so I see Chris as the guy who's going to find time for you, Alyssa.
For sure.
If you're important to him.
For sure. I mean, I'm sure we can say it. Your mom is a realtor.
All right, now you guys know my parents' jobs.
Your mom is a realtor, and she hangs out with your dad all the time.
They're best friends.
They're best friends. She always finds time for him. She finds time for us when we're there.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes she does have to run out and show houses, but it's not like she leaves at 8 a.m. on Saturday, comes back at 10. No, she leaves at 12, she's back at 2.
And more or less, you kind of can make your own hours. You don't have to take the house, You want to so that you can list it and sell it. But if you want some time, you can give it to another agent. You can pass up on it altogether. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a bad job to have if you want some time.
100%. So, Alyssa, shut up.
Shut up, Alyssa. Okay, so Alyssa said, I came here for a husband, yada, yada, yada. And Katina's like, well, maybe the slip up on your end was taking everything his friends and family said at face value, and you made a decision based on that instead of putting it away and making up your own mind.
Yes. And also, yes, go Katina. But let's not forget, his family and friends did not say anything bad about Chris. So the fact that she literally took everything they said and she turned it into something horrible.
Sure.
That's just outrageous. Mm-hmm. And yes, Katina's absolutely
outrageous.
Right. Even let's say you're this crazy, you just didn't like what they said. Why don't you get to know him to see if it's true?
Again,
why don't you give him a chance?
2 months. There's an expiration date. It could all be over in 2 months, but at least try for those 2 months.
And I believe that Katina and Jasmine are hanging out with her because they have to. Yeah. Maybe they bonded over their dislike of Lindsay, but I don't see them having anything else in common.
Right. Or maybe they like her the way we like Alyssa, in the sense that she's ridiculous and entertaining. But we wouldn't be real friends with her. We're just kind of laughing at her.
And even Jasmine, I don't think Alyssa gave him a chance from day one, which is very true.
Well, Katina goes, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like you're not physically attracted to him. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like you're not attracted to him.
And you should tell him.
And Alyssa goes, when I saw him, yeah, not normally what I'm attracted to. That's not what I asked the expert for. I would rather them told me they didn't have a match for me than give me someone that doesn't align with what I want. So right there, she's kind of saying it is all about the looks, because she's saying, we're talking about looks. We're talking about physical attraction. Kind of wish they didn't match me. Jasmina, I will say, sat very quiet this whole time. It was basically a conversation between Alyssa and Katina. And I almost feel like Jasmina was kind of taking notes for herself, because a lot of those things that Katina was telling Alyssa apply to her and Michael, with the whole, don't just listen to what his friends and family say.
Yeah, for sure. But I also think that Jasmina does not like Alyssa. Jasmina, I think she's like the neutral person. She's fine with Lindsay. She's fine with everyone. She, for some reason, was associated as Alyssa's friend, but I don't think she buys this whole story how poor Alyssa, she didn't get what she asked for. It's like, you don't know what you're gonna get. Like, if looks were so important, you should have told the experts, I want someone who looks like a freaking model with perfect teeth. And if you don't have this guy for me, don't give me anyone.
No, if looks are so important, you don't go on a blind wedding show.
True.
Right? Married at first sight. You haven't seen these. If looks are so important, you don't do that.
But I have to say, I'm so happy we're covering this season, because a lot is going on and I love it.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the group hang.
The happy hour.
Everyone gets together. It's the last day of the honeymoon, so all the couples are there. All the couples, plus Chris and Alyssa, they're getting together for dinner and drinks.
Yeah, they're like talking about work and kids, etc.
Who's going to have babies first?
And Chris is saying, I never wanted kids or marriage until a few years back, which I'm 100% team Chris. I felt that I didn't want to get married or anything because I didn't believe that I can find someone that would make me so happy that I would want to spend the rest of my life. But I met you.
Hello.
And I obviously changed my mind about all that. I didn't think about kids until like a freaking year or two ago. Well, when we get more serious, when we get engaged, I started picturing ourselves with a family if we can. But yeah, I totally understand his point. Like, I didn't think about this stuff at all in my 20s.
Well, Chris has a baby now.
Yeah, a freaking crybaby.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone's like, you'll be a great dad, Chris. You're amazing. Right? They're trying to keep this guy from drowning himself in the ocean. They can see he's just right there at the edge. And they talk about the issues people are having and how Michael says he's still learning how to communicate with Jasmina.
And speaking of the ocean, MTS is asking about all the bumps that they had to overcome. And like Chris and Alyssa are just like looking away. They're just like, no, like looking everywhere but at their fellow friends.
Yeah. Well, Katina's like, self-awareness is key. That's step one. So it's great you acknowledge that, which Chris and Alyssa are not acknowledging. And Elijah says, I learned it's not just I, Zick. No, he says, I learned it's not just I. It's we.
He goes to Home Goods.
Yeah. Okay, Elijah. And he's like, so I need to learn more patience and hear what my wife is saying.
Like, he says the right things. He just needs to do
sometimes.
them sometimes. But for Mark the Shark, the new thing is that someone else is there to help him or take care of him. And that made me very sad. I really feel like he's the person who takes care of everyone and does everything for everyone, and he forgets about himself.
He puts himself last.
Yeah. And I appreciate actually Lindsay being there for him, saying, hey, I'm going to get you out of the apartment. We're going to figure things out.
Yeah, I really came around on Lindsay this episode.
And Lindsay asked Alyssa, like, oh, so how is it going? And Alyssa is like, you talking to me? We're good.
Well, Lindsay points at Chris and Alyssa, and I was like, easy on the hand gestures, Lindsay.
But she also asked, like, I would do it too. If I'm sitting in a group, I want to talk to someone, I could point. I would also talk, but she pointed.
Okay, I was joking because Alyssa hates hand gestures.
Oh.
Okay, come on. Snatched.
Snatched.
Come on.
I didn't get that. But yeah, Alyssa hates everything. So I'm sorry I didn't pick it up. Like she probably hates the air she breathes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I hate the air she breathes. Alyssa just tries to dismiss it. She's like, we're good. And Chris goes, it's clear we're not in the same place you are.
And Alyssa, what's going to happen next, she's going to start lying to everyone, including herself. Like, she's literally full of shit. Does she know, like, is she aware that the mic is on her and the camera this whole time? So we can actually see when she has these freakouts and then when she goes ahead and straight up lies.
Okay, here we go. Noy asks, do you guys plan on moving in together? And Alyssa says, we haven't talked about it, which isn't completely true. Okay, so that's a lie.
Because she stormed off.
Right, Chris tried to. We haven't talked about it. But my thought, okay, because just spitball, I'm a creative thinker. I think outside the box. So my thought, Chris can move into the apartment for a month, and then I can move in for the second month.
Shut up.
Wait, what? What? Like this is an option? I feel like some other couples in past seasons are just like, I don't know you could do that. I don't know. You could just do that.
I don't think they can do that. And honestly, each apartment they've always been to has 2 rooms and 2 bathrooms. Like 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
For a reason. You can't force someone to sleep in the same bed with another person. But yeah, it's a 2-bedroom apartment.
So why can't you, like, have you ever had roommates? I had a horrible roommate. I hated her. I still lived with her.
Sure. Like, let's forget the fact that Alyssa basically had a vacation to herself, right? She had her own room in Puerto Rico for a week or however long they were, at least 5 days. Now she's like, oh, yeah, I want the apartment to myself too.
And like Chris is like, I have not heard this strategy before, but that's not going to fly because I'm either all in or all out.
And Alyssa's like, well, just because it didn't work out in the romantic sense doesn't mean we can't be allowed to participate.
What?
Wait, hold on. What show do you think you're on? What are you going to participate in if not a marriage?
And if you want to participate, try to make it work. That's the participation. You have 2 rooms, 2 bathrooms, split it up. Try to make it work. Try.
Right.
Like, she hasn't tried at all. Like, it didn't work in the romantic way. What romantic way? You've never even stayed at 1 room at the same time.
Yeah. I feel like she was a second away from being like, Katina, do you have like an air mattress I could sleep on in the apartment? Like, I'm down for that. Yeah. This is why I think it was premeditated, because this strategy just appeared to us, but it was kind of well thought out. Like, regardless of the guy, unless it was Bradley Cooper or Ryan Reynolds or someone, I feel like she was going to be like, oh, I just want to be on TV. How about you sleep in the apartment for a month and I'll sleep on the apartment for a month?
Well, her being on TV is going to ruin a lot of things for her because
her mom's going to be mad at her.
Oh, she is already. She is portrayed, and truthfully so, as the biggest asshole on Married at First Sight.
She's like the biggest asshole in America right now.
Yeah.
I really think that. She is America's villain right now.
Oh, she sure is. And it's all her fault. And everyone's like getting emotional when Chris is saying, I'm not looking to split time with you like divorced parents. Like, and everyone's like emotional, feeling bad for Chris because he is in this for real. He says, I'm not gonna do this half and half. I'm either all in or all out. Like,
yeah, it's and I was sitting there applauding Chris.
Yes.
Right? And Alyssa trying to make herself be this hero. I'm trying to think of solutions for our problems.
Yeah. And like,
you're the problem.
Like, poor Chris, I was getting emotional too because he's like, if she doesn't want to get, if she doesn't want to get too into it too quickly, I give her the time. Like, I'm in this for life. I'm in no rush. You want to take your time? I'll give you all the time you want. Like, I'm in this for the rest of my life. And I felt so bad for him because this guy signed up for this to find a wife. Alyssa signed up for this to look like the biggest asshole in America, apparently. But the fact that she didn't even try, not even once, like, forget it, you're not attracted to him. Try to be friends. Maybe you'll find out, hey, this guy's awesome. We can be friends. If nothing, maybe you'll find out, okay, we're not compatible. Moving on. But she didn't even give it one freaking chance.
Yeah. And yeah, Chris lays it out there. If you're out, so am I. But if you're even 1% in, 1% in, I'm all in.
And you can see all the couples just felt so bad for him.
It was so tough to watch. And Alyssa is at the table just like, I want everyone to remember I came in here with the best intentions and put in all the work like everyone else. I'm happy I can say that, but it hurts that it happened this way. You put in no work. You're 5 days in. How can you say you put in all of the work and that it happened this way?
And she's talking to the camera saying, he's actively trying to make me look bad. I'm a fucking good person.
Yeah.
No, you're not. And honestly, tell me one bad thing he said about you. Meanwhile, you're calling him fucking disgusting, etc., etc. There was nothing bad he ever said about you.
Right. And Teresa and I, we always try to save our conversations for the pod. We always start talking like, save it for the pod, save it for the pod. But we were so fired up over this that we started talking. And one of the things I said was, well, to be fair, it could be editing, right? You always have to remember it's a TV show. There's editing. They could not be showing us some things. And Teresa made the good point. Well, Alyssa's not even saying, well, when the cameras aren't there or he did this and that. She's just saying, no, like he's making me look bad. Yeah. Blah, blah. She has no examples of things he's done.
He's pointing. Look at him pointing, like hands gestures. Because there is nothing they do off cameras because she doesn't spend time with him. There was this one time.
That's the other thing you said, right.
There was this one time when they talked off cameras when she told him she doesn't want to spend time with him, but that was it. She never said, oh, when we're alone, he is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? No, because they don't do that. They don't spend time together. So that's not poor editing. It's just poor personality.
Yeah. And Chris goes, I just need to know if you're all out. That's it. My only question, are you all out? And Alyssa goes, I don't think this is a conversation we should have in front of everyone. And at first I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I was like, wait, no, you just brought up splitting the apartment in front of everyone. You just put it all on the table that you're basically all out and you just want to live in the apartment for a month. You can have this conversation in front of everyone too.
Yeah, for sure. And he's asking a very simple question that
Do you even want to try? Like you could
rightfully so
answer, and her not answering says it all. It's like, yeah, she doesn't want to try. It'd be easy enough to be like, yeah, I want to keep trying.
And like Lindsay made a little face, nothing crazy. She didn't say anything. She's like listening to her bullshit, and I would have made a face.
Oh, I would have made more than a face.
And Alyssa's like, don't do that, Lindsay. It's like, don't do what? Like literally she's reacting to her BS. She can make a face. She didn't say a word. She didn't attack you.
Yeah.
She has to, oh my gosh, I want to slap her so bad. I want to slap her across her face.
Jeez. Yeah, everyone calls me out because I don't have the best poker face. I'll roll my eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
I would have, yeah.
Oh, you do? Like, you can tell immediately when John's annoyed.
Yeah, I would have not been able to keep it cool at that table.
I can play it cool, but I also don't like BS, so I would probably say something.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then Alyssa and Chris, they break away. Okay, they have this one-on-one where they're talking about the apartment situation. And she's still going on about how she wants to participate in the experience and how it's very important for the both of them. And Chris tells the camera, Alyssa has been using the word experience a lot the past couple of days. And I think that's telling. And I'm glad he's picking up on that because she's not saying, I want to participate in this marriage or even this process. It's all about the experience.
Like, what's the experience? You're experiencing nothing.
She wants the experience of being on television, living in this apartment, and having friends. And she probably needs friends because I'm sure no one wants to be friends with her. And now she's like, oh, I have these two friends. I don't want to lose these friends.
She better buy some paper bags to cut out holes for eyes to walk around Boston.
Oh, everyone is gonna. And
Oh
we
my God.
don't support bullying, right?
No.
We don't
No,
need
no, no.
anyone coming at her.
100% not.
But a little taste of her own medicine
Yeah.
wouldn't hurt.
Like the way I really feel bad for Chris. Chris is like the America sweetheart right now.
Yeah.
And even like Elijah one is like, no, she's full of shit. Like I feel bad for my man Chris. He probably should wake up.
Yeah, he's being embarrassed on national television.
But and Katina standing there just kind of like having this smile on her face. Like she knows she doesn't want to say it because she's supposedly her friend. But she doesn't defend her because she knows there is nothing to defend.
You would look bad to defend Alyssa at this point.
No, but also I like Katina. I don't think she's full of shit. I think she's a real person, and I think she's not saying anything because she knows that Elijah one is right.
100%.
And Chris is right, yeah.
So Chris is asking Alyssa some questions. Were you prepared to adjust for someone who wasn't perfect? And Alyssa's like, yeah, I never thought they'd match me with someone 1,000% perfect. Well, that's not a real number, Alyssa. Okay? So you're full of shit. And Chris is like, have you even brought up anything you didn't think was working that I could change? Like, if you have issues with me, what have you even brought up to me? And Alyssa's like, oh, yeah, I have. Right now I'm not mentally prepared to have that conversation, but we will.
She literally had no words. And oh my gosh, like I
There's
just wanted
nothing.
to slap her so many times. And she goes like, you have to understand we both are in the same situation. Like,
No, you're not.
no, and Chris said it. No, we're not.
She makes herself out to be the hero. She's like, I had a chance to leave yesterday and I didn't go. Yeah, because you had another 2 nights on your free all expenses paid vacation to Puerto Rico where you have your own suite. That's why you didn't go. You didn't stay to work it out with Chris. And Chris is like, so you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. No, Alice is like, I'm done with this conversation. Like, I don't like the way you portrayed me and you talked to me. She's like, that's not my character. And she literally loses her shit again and starts crying to her camera saying, I'm a really good fucking person. Once again, Alyssa, good people don't say they're good people. They're just good people. You just show it. Oh my gosh.
She says, I'm not going to sit here and let someone assassinate my character and say I'm not here for the right reasons. That's not character assassination, Alyssa. That's character suicide. You've done this to yourself.
Oh yeah, 100%. Poor Chris, he's like, I wish she would just say what she really feels. Like, just be real.
Well, here's what I'm going to say. As Alyssa gets up and leaves, and Chris goes, even though Alyssa thinks the experts didn't give her what she wants, they gave me what I want.
Well, he wanted to be married.
Stop. This is what I'm saying. He's just attracted to her. He's being superficial too.
No, he wanted wife. He has a wife.
That's all he wanted. He could have gotten any wife anywhere. Just walk up to someone, date them for 6 months.
I think deep down
this is what he wants?
No, I don't think he does, but I think
that's what he said.
Still deep down he believes that they were matched for whatever reason.
No, he says they gave me what I want. That just means he's attracted to her. And I'm not ragging on him. I still like him as a guy, but come on, Chris, wake up.
I don't think he even goes there. I really think that he asked for a wife. Maybe he asked for certain things. He got a wife. I don't think he asked for this drama, but I feel like he just wants things to work. And I genuinely feel bad for him. Yeah, maybe he is still slightly naive, but
a little, yeah.
But I mean, what can you do? What can you do?
Yeah, I get it. He's going to try. He's going to try to make the best of it. But he could stop saying dumb things like, oh, they gave me what I want. She's fun. We're a good fit on paper. Stop that. You're making yourself look dumb.
Well, yes. But
and
also,
desperate and naive.
Yes and yes. But at the same time, I don't think he's ready to call it off. I feel like he wants to because of this whole thing. But in the same time, he's like, I did this for a reason. I still want to see what's going to happen. If she's out, she needs to tell me she's out, then I'll be out. I really believe that he doesn't want to give up this easily.
But then he should be saying things like, you need to make a change. You need to show me you want to be here. If you want to live in this apartment, you need to make an effort. He's not. He's like, oh, we're perfect for each other.
Yeah, because she doesn't let him. She turns everything against him. He says A. She says, you see how he's talking to me? Such an asshole.
Well, I said at the last podcast, whatever he's doing is not working. So he maybe he should make a change.
But because he's not an asshole. He's too nice for his own good.
That's probably true.
He really is. He's too nice. And I would lose my shit.
Well, he's also, I hope, aware that there's cameras. And he's coming off great. He's coming off great.
No, but I believe that he is a very calm person. I don't think he's going to lose it. A lot of people are very calm. I'm not. I can explode a little. You can explode a little. Although I can explode a little more. I cry.
But this is probably the reason they were matched, is she's nuts and he's not.
For sure.
And they could balance each other out, but she won't allow that.
For sure.
Okay. That's the episode. What an episode.
My gosh.
I don't even know what's happening next week.
It was like talking about Alyssa, this whole thing, because she was
That's
the
what
episode.
I said. I was like, were there any other couples on this episode?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It was a good episode, though.
She's the worst.
Okay.
But I love it.
Guys, make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's mouths hot.
Oh, it's so hot. So hot. Yeah, you're going to get burned. It's that hot. And some people will get burned this season.
For sure.
And we'll see. Okay.
Some people are burning already.
Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. It's where all the news comes. It's where you would have found out that this podcast was being delayed a day. Again, sorry for that. But it is what it is. I feel better now. So thank you for bearing with us. At Married to Reality Pod on Instagram, Married to Reality Pod on Facebook. And thank you again for leaving reviews. If you haven't left one, please do. It means the world to us. That's it. I've said it all. Have you said it all?
I've said it all.
Sure have. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.